Today, the group controls large swaths of Syrian territory, including parts of Aleppo, and is closely intertwined with other forces, including the so-called moderate opposition, the type the United States supports. Here's what RT filmed above the roofs in East Aleppo. Terrorist flags flying.
That said, it's primarily al-Nusra who holds Aleppo. And of course, al-Nusra not part of the cessation of hostilities. So it's complicated.
Plus, when al-Nusra shells government-controlled territories, it's indiscriminate and it's killing civilians. Yet the Pentagon remains quite restrained in combating them.
And I've seen, reports that they're allowed to leave. They shouldn't have to leave. And they shouldn't be being bombed by their own government and by the Russian military. And that's what needs to stop.
I think we can see by the way the U.S. has conducted the war against al-Nusra and Daesh, so-called Islamic State, and other terrorist groups in Syria, that they have a schizophrenic policy. They admit now, the State Department admits that it has been unwilling to bomb al-Nusra positions for the last year. This is Al-Qaeda, of course, because the so-called moderate rebels are intermingled with them. The State Department openly admits this. We have to place this into context. 15 years ago, in 1 month, the U.S. was attacked on September 11th, and during the last 15 years, the U.S. says its top priority is to destroy Al-Qaeda, and it's conducted what's called the War on Terror. And now we have Al-Qaeda in Syria, and the U.S. refuses to bomb those positions because its real priority is not defeating Al-Qaeda. Its real position still is to oust the government of Bashar al-Assad, the sovereign government in Syria.
We decided to ask New Yorkers what they think. Is it wrong for the U.S. to fight Al-Qaeda?
No, I don't think so.
You don't have a problem with fighting against Al-Qaeda?
Well, I mean, as long as they keep attacking us and as long as they keep, bringing terror to the world, I think it's right for us to fight them.
Is it wrong for Russia to fight Al-Qaeda?
No, I don't think so.
At this point in Syria, we have the U.S.-backed, the forces that they call the moderate rebels. They're fighting along side by side with Al-Qaeda. Does that bother you?
Of course it does. Of course, it makes no sense. It's a big mess over there. Gigantic mess.
Is it wrong for Russia to fight Al-Qaeda?
No, of course not.
So here, no one seems to have a problem with Russia or anyone else taking out Al-Qaeda terrorists. However, despite the fact that scores of militants have been killed, U.S. leaders are still sitting on the sidelines, shaking their heads at Russia. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.